Hello everybody, May is here and we are ready to start our Flosstube about cross stitch. Okay, let's hug me. Yeah, hug you. No? No. So, today is the 9th of April and I don't know why, but on my calendar it's a rabbit, yellow rabbit day. Fortunately, I could not do the Flosstube last week on the 1st and 2nd. I know it would be better because this is basically the recap for March, but last week was tomb sweeping day in China, like going to the cemetery and remembering your ancestors' day. So the whole family managed to get together. We went to the cemetery. We had a very big lunch together. But then we played in the evening together. So it would be not very correct of me to tell them, I'm sorry, I need 2-3 hours to make my floss tube, so bye. So that's why I'm doing it this weekend. And just saying, but there is only 1, 2, and 3 weeks till my mom's come, and this is the day that she is arriving in Beijing. So only 3 weeks left and I'm immensely happy. By the way, this is the calendar from the Chinese artist Luba. Luba Draws is her company and she's doing amazing watercolors and then draws with the markers on top of them. And she's doing this really lovely miniatures about Beijing life. Like she's like a Beijinger and she's doing local Beijing art things, pictures. Just wanting to show you a little bit. So basically this is like the map of the city center. The city center is the Forbidden City, and she's basically like just showed every street with some of the extra interesting parts, but just funny parts of how a guy doing kung fu or guy selling like sweet potatoes, or there is like Bing Dong Dong and his friend Lantern, which I actually forgot his name, but he has the very funny name too. And this guy selling hawthorns in caramel, and there is just a grandpa sitting with his doggy. But actually, like, all of this is so real life, like you can see it on any street everywhere, so it's so true. And in February, for example, we had this picture which is like the entrance to the local park, and it's so true. Like, this is the QR code which you had to scan before you would go anywhere during the pandemic. And there are 2 guys guarding it, but one of them is like tired and sitting and not actually wearing a mask. And like there is a grandma and there are 2 people just taking pictures and just like climbing every rock just to stand next to the name of it. And it's so true. I know it's a little bit like cartoonish or not like super pretty, but at the same time it's like super real life. Like you can see these grandmas on every street in Hutongs, and right now all our city is like full of pink color, pink flowers. Yeah, a little later, like these 2 weeks, all the pink flowers will fall down and they will be all green. But at the moment, the whole city is pink, and like you can see this grandma with her like trolley, and we actually have almost the same trolley in my home, and it is so convenient. If I by myself have to go to the convenience store for a lot, like let's say a whole box of water and something else, it's so immensely heavy to carry it, so I'm just using it. And I'm not feeling myself like a grandma really, but at the same time they have like sanitizers at the entrance of every like hutong, and there is like names of the different restaurants and cafes and some small shop. It's like this is so real life, which you can actually just see passing by the street. So I'm just in love with her calendar. I love every month I'm not picking. Every month I'm turning the leaf and then I'm starting to see what's here. And I'm like, oh, this is this one. Ah, this is this one. Ah, this is this one. I know. So this is very funny. Also, April was really, March. Also, March was really hard on work. So I worked a lot, I stitched a lot. And let's see what changed in my home. So first of all, you can see like this is my cross stitch place. So initially I had 2 shelves, just empty shelves, and I would put all my cross stitch here, like my whips, my current whips, some organizing for new starts, just basically anything I'm using at the moment, or like some floss and everything. And because it's just 2 open shelves, it was very uncomfortable because May was going around and like trying to eat all the floss, and like just basically I couldn't sort anything. So my idea was to buy these boxes, shelves, so I can sort things. And it's actually, I'm loving it so much more right now, because now May has nowhere to go. Like basically everything is closed. Yeah, she's still playing with the brushes, but even my ore jar is closed, like very nicely. She's trying to pick it up. She's like taking things in her mouth and trying to open it, but I'm not letting her. She eats the ores. That's very bad for her. So, and I sorted things here. Basically now I have like the whole box of all the finishing things and embellishments. I have the box where I'm like finishing things and storing them for now because I don't have so much space. I have the like bags and future bags, and like all my whips, like just anything, and even hidden snack for the time I'm like sitting here. And this is my light, the light I use for cross stitch. So whenever I'm sitting here I can have a snack. It's dry figs. So they're not really dry, they're a little soft, but really yummy. So update on May. You might hear her breathing difficultly because at the end of March and the beginning of April the weather was like jumping hot to cold, cold to hot. Basically like one date was 25, another date was just like 13 degrees. Poor baby is very sensitive to the weather change or to the wind, and it was very windy, especially last week. So she had like super long boogers, like 1 mile long, which you cannot like actually take out. Like sorry for the details, but it was looking like rubber. So we had to give her nose drops like basically every couple hours just so she would breathe normally. But now it's getting better. Like this is getting better. She is getting better and feeling better, but like couple weeks she was not feeling it. She was like very sleepy, only likes to cuddle, didn't want to play. Like this couple days she's like willing to play. She wants to find her balls and to play with them. Now she's playing them some jingle small soft balls, so she likes them. Doesn't like feather so much on a stick, but she likes to play with small soft felt balls, run around them, catch them, things like that. So like a doggy, huh? Like a doggy. Yeah. So new organization system let me free like a lot of space on my shelves. Before it was like super packed, and now I can actually move it, and there is a lot of like small hoops here which I just bought, and the big hoops here, and like so much space. For what? Actually, there will be a huge package of cross stitch coming here with mom. Like I bought 3 different like 3 times from different stores, and different things are coming. Like there will be beads, there will be cross stitch, there will be kids from which I was like looking forward and wanting them for so long. There will be new cross stitch on wood, which I haven't tried yet, new companies, and like that's why I need all of this space. Like, yeah, right now it's all mixed up, the new ones and the old ones, the whips. Basically I just keep some new ones, some oldies, some whips here. Yep. Darcy, hi! Birds! So, yeah. So, next time I will be making the video like this in May, for April and May progress, and there will be so much haul. So much haul. So, stay tuned for that. May is eating. Let's talk a little bit about FFOs. So you know that I'm planning to join a local handmade market, and I'm FFOing as much of my projects, older projects as I can. And first of all, I wanted to show you this one, and you would ask me, why are you showing me this? This is already, we saw it last vlog. And that is why, because I already don't have it. Actually, I haven't opened my shop yet, but I already had a first sell. So after last vlog, Charles, subscriber, friend, viewer, he said he wants to purchase this little morning owl who has this giant eye bags. And of course we sent it to him, and right now actually Aaron already told me that the package reached America, and it's been in customs like for a couple days now. So we are hoping, Charles, that you will receive it very, very soon and tell me, and that's just amazing. So right now this little owl will be living with Charles in America. Wow, it's like on the other side of the world. I really never expected that I would be able to like sell something to America. It's like too far away. And when I posted about this on Instagram, actually there was a question from some of the girls, like, does it worth it? Because like comparing the price of the hoop and comparing the price of the travel expenses. But I don't know, like for people who buy it, maybe it does worth it, because the travel expenses were like twice the price of the owl itself. So just so you know, but it's not so overly expensive, I would say, because right now I'm selling my hooped cross stitch rather cheap. So what else did I finish this month? Last month. So first of all, this is a tiny rabbit by Maria Brovko. I think this is my cross stitch from the summer of 2020. It's like I just started having my Flosstube or something, and it's some of the first videos have this little rabbit. I already told you how I dyed this fabric. It's like super rainbow. It has purples, blues, greens, yellows, pinks. And then I thought it's like, oh, super busy fabric, but then I saw this tiny cute white pattern, basically white. So it fits here amazingly. Actually, right now it's a little lighter than it should be. Like this. If I make the camera darker, this is the correct color. Like this is a little darker and the rabbit looks amazing on it. Okay, let's see to the next one. Next one is one of the animals from Mika Mila or Yekaterina Gafenko and Mila Vosh, the designers. They have like a lot of animals in the sweaters and with the cups. And I think this was actually the first animal I actually stitched, not the fox, but the rabbit was the first, and after the rabbit I stitched the fox and the raccoon. And just look on its little sweater, has little carrots, snowflakes, like so many tiny embellishments on this little sweater. And now, by the way, I'm cutting my felt to the size of the hoop, to the size of the outer hoop, so it looks much better all in all. But at the same time, this hoop is a little flawed because it should have like this hanger, and I lost it like long time ago, because this was on my wall for a couple years and it was just laced in the back and it was hanging by the thread. And now, since I covered it with felt and there is no hanger, I actually put the little hole from the hanger down there, because like why would it be in the front? I don't know how to hang it anymore. So if you have any ideas on how to hang the hoop like this, or just put it on stand, on like what to do with it, so how would I recommend it for people? So of course I still have several months to think about it, so it's not so urgent, but I am breaking my mind about it. Next FFO was of 2021. Cross stitch. This is a cross stitch by Lady D, designer Lady D, and she has a lot of like these floral little motifs with tiny ornaments. Like she has Irish things and others. Like I love her, but most of all, it captivated me by this Chinese little floral design and embellishments. So of course I stitched it, and for my cross stitch, I chose this rustic colored, let's see, like this. Yeah, it's very rustic colored fabric. But actually I stitched this design twice. So after I finished this and I posted on Instagram, like just this hoop holding in my hands, and it looks amazing, one of my friends wanted to gift something like this for her mom-in-law, and she asked me to restitch it for her. But she talked, I asked her for different colors and everything. She said on the white. Actually, I think the white fabric cheapens the cross stitch a little bit, because when you have a full coverage, of course you don't care what color fabric in the back, right? But when it's not full coverage, right, the fabric is a part of the design. It's like it can bring something in the design, or it can take something out. So I think when it's like something like even rustic, or even some, this is a warm beige, it's not white, it gives the atmosphere. So this is like a warm early morning when it's just the first rays of sun standing, and it's maybe on the iPad it's a little white, but actually in live you can see it's not white. And here you can feel like a little bit of I don't know, like some Chinese authenticity. Like it's not super modern feeling, though the cross stitch itself is very contemporary, but it just gives some older feeling, like it's been there for years. And when she asked me to stitch it on white. Of course I would do, but then the cross stitch itself feels like it's cut out of nothing and just like hanging in the middle of nowhere. Like, just for me, maybe you can disagree with me if you want, but I think the right color of fabric can actually save your cross stitch, can actually like make it pop up and bring a lot in. Okay, and this is a very old piece. This is maybe from 2018. I remember we went to Thailand on a vacation for maybe 2 weeks. I would say roughly 2 weeks, and this was my travel project. So I started it the first day we came to Thailand, and I stitched it there mostly every day, but I didn't finish it there because, of course, like, we're in Thailand. Why would I just sit in the hotel and stitch like endlessly, right? But we still had some free time, and the time when I got super sunburned and had to heal. So I had some stitching time, but I remember that I haven't finished it in Thailand. I brought it back to Beijing, and then I backstitched all of it. So maybe I finished the stitches, maybe not. Maybe there was still something left. I remember I totally finished all the stitches in the peonies. So this is like a botanical hoop by Alisa Knes. But hoops are not the only FFO I had. Also, I had FFOs of 2 bags. So this is the bag number 1. This is Lena Lawson, Trick or Treat, and I think it looks amazing on this black bag. Like the red, the something Halloweenish, it looks just amazing. And another thing is this a royal person. I forgot the designer. I'm so sorry, I forgot the designer. I'm pretty sure I talked about it. This was a design I stitched during the first months of pandemic. So it's very speaking by itself. And this bag has a very big flaw because I put the double-sided sticky tape and then I stitched it on, and then I removed the double-sided tape, and this is what it made with the bag. So I'm not sure how should I proceed. Like, is there a way to comb this part? Like, you can see this line, right? You can see the line of like uncombed. Like, the double-sided tape did damage the bag a little bit. So I'm not sure, should I wash it or should I just like try to comb it or like cut a little bit this place so it will not look so. I'm not sure. If if I cannot fix this problem, I will just like rip this off and buy another bag and sew it to another bag, because I'm not gonna sell flawed things. But at the same time, like, can I try to save it? So if you have an idea about this bag too, leave a comment, please. But actually, I love this bag so much more than the last one, the yellow one, because this bag actually has like pockets, and it's very nice to the touch. This fabric is just generally so soft and so nice, like so velvety. And this was not the last FFO I had. Actually, the last FFO I had is this amazing tiger. I stitched the tiger for Aaron's parents' birthday. So mom's birthday is on the 3rd of April and dad's birthday is on the 8th of April. So basically like 5 days apart, same month, same year. They are both tigers, and my thought was that the tiger is a father. Like, he is a protector, he's fierce and strong, and he is a bringer of food, and he has teeth to rip anyone apart who dares to touch his woman. And the mother is a bouquet of flowers because she is feminine and warm and brings the life and the just genuinely warmth to the house of the tiger, you know? So I know they're both tigers, but for my vision, if I would just stitch 2 tigers and give them, it would not represent them as much as this picture actually does. And when mom saw this picture, she was like, yeah, but actually the tiger is hiding behind the flowers. And dad was like, no, it's not hiding behind the flowers. Like, man is hiding behind the back of the wife. So they loved it. They totally loved it. They had so much fun discussing it. And the frame, it's like this cross stitch was born in this frame. Actually, just like a wooden frame from Taobao, and thank God this time I didn't need to cut it, nothing. Like, this is why I love non-full coverage, because I don't need to think about the frame too much. I just need to find a frame which is like not too squeezing it too much, but I think it looks amazing. Update on my plants. This was like a tiny clover that I moved out from the Pepper. By the way, Pepper is now super happy. He has so many new like red peppers, and he has like new growing, new leaves. So I think all in all it benefited from moving out the clover. By the way, the clover now has this tiny like bean sprouts, which are like, if I squeeze them a little bit, they are shooting their seeds everywhere. And yeah, it's growing wonderfully. But let's just see how many seeds around I have. Like, starts with here. You can see all the black dots are the seeds. Yeah, seeds here and seeds on the wall, and we're climbing, and we have some seeds here, and we have some seeds here, over here. We go up, and how tall are these? And oh my god, the seeds are on the ceiling. There is so many seeds shooting up the ceiling that it's starting to break. No, actually this part of the window is kind of breaking down, but just because of the weight of the curtains. So we are gonna fix it, but obviously not exactly right now, because it's only 3 weeks till my mom comes, and we don't want to do it during the cold times too, because like we have May and she's super sensitive. Also, seeds on the curtains, and these are really like difficult. Like, if I just swipe, they do not, like, I have to pick every seed like separately, and there are lots of them there. And just see, like, it's standing on one side of the window, so no way there will be seeds on this wall. Yep. So it's shooting everywhere, and it's growing nicely. I cannot doubt, but I think it's going to the point where this little food container is too little for it. And Aaron already started asking me, do I want to like buy a whole long windowsill like length pot just to like have this small vine like everywhere, like, because it can grow ginormously big and it will look amazing, but then on the floor we will have so many seeds. And today's weeks we will start from looking at my rabbit, and unfortunately I cannot show you how beautiful it is. We will be looking at the back side of the work, and it's awful. I'm promising you, it's awful. So please, if you're pregnant, get away from the screen, take away your children, hide in the basement, close your doors, and cover your ears, because right now we will be showing a back of a very messy project. So why I'm not showing you the front, you might ask? Because my mom is sneak peeking. And I know last time I asked her, Mom, can you skip 5 minutes into the future and don't look on what secret present I want to give you? She's like, oh, I was just interested. I still watched. So that's why I want at least to have a little surprise when she will finally see it. I know she knows what it is. I know she guessed and saw it, and but watching like this and seeing the final amazing project, which you can basically go to my Instagram, sign there and see, which I just recently posted. So you can see it's all in amazingness. So yeah, as you can see, there is so many like long threads here. Why? Because at first here, for example, you can see that I will take like a little piece and I will go through it, but later on it was just like so much confetti. You can see there were like 3 stitches here, 5 stitches here, 2 stitches here. So of course I would not like stop my work, cut my thread. I'll just continue and make like this stellars, like summer sky, whatever. So one thing is that it has a lot of stitches. By the way, I have an announcement. For the first time in a long while, I have stitched everything using Cross Stitch Saga. So I actually have all the numbers. I actually have the numbers of cross stitch I did on every project which I stitched this month. And first time in a while in my life, I can completely count how many stitches I stitched this month. So on every project I will be announcing how many stitches I did, starting from last video and up to this video. So remember them, write them down, memorize by heart. There will be a trivia question at the end. But we will be counting. So on the rabbit, I finished 9,600 stitches this month, and I finished it. And I only finished it like a couple days ago, so the finish is for April. In March I didn't have any finishes. Yeah, looking at you, so creepy. Yeah, you can see like even small things like ear or something, they also have these threads I pulled between the stitches. And now I'm pretty sure, since there are threads not in backstitch but in between the stitches, they won't be like damaging anything. Everything will be perfect. But considering I got this pattern for free during the sale for the model stitching, this is a model stitch for a designer. I did not change anything. I just followed the pattern as is. But I just have to say that the pattern that I sign up for and the finished project, I kinda little different. Just an example. So this is a part of the rabbit. This is one little part of the rabbit, and you can see there is like brown, yellowish, white, purple, gray, more gray, different types of gray. It's like again some brown. So this part, it has colors, or like this part, it has colors, or like the flower, it actually has lots of colors. Like, yeah, it has white places, but it has most of the flower is colorful. And what I got in the end is that, let me just show you, like maybe like this. Yeah, I can see a little brown here, and I can see a little gray here. If you say it's too bright, I might add darker, but still, a little brown here, a little gray here. I do not see anything like in the middle. I don't see 3-4 different colors as were on the original design. They're like white. Yeah, I can see how I stitch them. Like I stitch something here, I stitch something here in the middle. So there should be different ones. But because there are so many blends, there are 21 blends and 40 colors, I don't see them. Same for the flower. Like here, yeah, you see this very dark red, but the majority of each leaf is still very light. On the pattern, it was like this much white and this much of color, like this much white and this much of color. Here is like this much of color and all the rest is like very light. It is pink, but it's very light, and like, oh, you cannot see different types of pink, you cannot see blends, you can only basically see when it's very, very dark colors. Then like at the end, when I was filling in super dark colors, yeah, you can see those. But even the green is not exactly super green. It's like grayish, yellowish gray, very light. Yeah, if you go back, you can kind of see the green leaves, but same. Like you see the cheek of the rabbit and you see the flower, it's very white. It's very washed out. Washed out. This is the word I was looking for. Washed out. So I think the problem with this design is that the designer who was drawing it, she was orienting herself on the program, and on the program maybe they have a bigger difference between the colors. But in real life, when you stitch it, I cannot even see the difference between the floss. So if I would be the designer, I would get rid of those 21 blends and would try at least to use 40 solid colors to have bigger contrast between them. And I would even get rid of some of the very lightest colors, maybe turn them into darker versions, like these green ones. I would use the darker versions. Yeah, it is very, you would say it's very soft, it's very gentle, but this is not what I was promised actually. I was promised very rich, very bright. Like you can see, right, how this is dark, like watercolor, and what I got is like super washed out. So it's still amazing gift. It's still amazing. It's a white rabbit. It still will be amazing gift to my mom, and I will be making a pillow with. It's just not exactly the thing I was looking for. Okay, next one. I was stitching this cute llama. I bought 10 patterns from Rin Stitch. Gerhera was one of them, and 8 tiny magnets from her. I think a couple years ago or last year, she had a big sale when she will, like, every couple weeks she will draw a new magnet of a new animal, and she even like asked people vote for the animal they want, and she had like an illustrator drawing those animals for her, and she would turn them into cross stitch. But I missed that one, so now I'm just buying patterns and stitching them. Again, this pattern had like 2 blends in it, in whites. So I said, no, I'm not doing it. I used like bright white and the darker shade of whatever she said, whatever was in the pattern key, but in the color key. But I didn't use the blends at all. I just used the darker one for all the places where there should be the blend. But I think it's not super visible anyway, so it's super cute. And the next thing I want to stitch is like a gray cat. And I saw there's like 4 colors of gray and 2 blends, and the 90% of the cat is stitched with blends. And I'm like, no way I'm doing it. I will just be like using those 4 gray colors to do the whole cat, because those 4 gray solid colors are only used for accents in like paws or tail or things like that. I'm like, that doesn't count. I'm just using it solid. Plus, I'm not doing like a picture or framing or anything. It's just a little tiny magnet on the fridge. Not so tiny though. It has 1400 stitches in one, and some of them have more, some of them have less, so I'll keep you in touch. Next one is Gerhera, again Rin Stitch, and formally it's a finish, but I will be still working on it. So last time you saw there was just like moth and not finished 100%, and now I worked on all the background, I did all the backstitch, some beading, and I added some craning in her wings. So here I stitched 7,500 stitches, so it's a big one. What I didn't like here so much, I love it. I like, as much as I complain about every cross stitch I do, I love them. Like, this was my main pleasure this month, because I was working very hard, and I was running home just to get my hands on it and stitch a little more, and like it flew through the upper part of the background. I like stitched the down part, and then I stitched all the flowers, and it was amazing. It was such a relaxing stitch, meditating, like healthy stitching for me, healthy mindful stitching. It was amazing. Just if I would change something, I would actually change the... Hey baby, are you sneak peeking? Are you sneaking on me? Hey, sleepy? No, you don't want to talk to us. Okay. So here we have two types of black backstitch. The one thread backstitch is the outer line, and two thread backstitch is the inner line of the leaf, which I would actually change, because the outer line of the leaf, you can't even see it because the background is like very, very dark green. So one thread of black backstitch, it's just falls into this dark green, but the inner side of the leaf is kind of light, it's gray light, so the even one strand backstitch would be very visible on it. So all the leaves are visible, but you can't see that it actually also have like white lines around every leaf. That's the only thing I would change, but I already stitched. I actually saw this only when I finished all the backstitch, and I was like, why did I do it exactly? And when I showed, I used some beads here instead of black knot, French knots. I think they complemented very nicely. They shimmer, and they kind of have like different colors in them, so they're cute. And then I showed Aaron, and he was like, yeah, but it's a moth, and moths have some shiny powder on their wings. Don't you want to add something shiny? So I took the leftovers of craning I had like brown craning, and I stitched in just half stitches over some places, and I really liked it here, here, and here. It looks amazing. But then I totally ran out of... I have some strand here. Okay, I'll deal with it later. Something broke. Something broke. So now it's kind of freezed because I need to order first some craning, and it's not very easy to do in China, as I know they don't produce craning, so they don't have. I think there are some Japanese sparkly threads, but I'm not sure how similar to them, because I already put in a big chunk of craning. I don't want to rip it out. I would rather find something like similar color, brown, black, gray, and put in the rest of the wings, the body, the head, and make it super shimmery. So it's really nice moth. Okay, next thing I stitched is Pagoda by Olga Lankevich. Give me a second, I will find it for you. So this is the design, and this is what I have right now, and I actually have a picture of what I used to have last month. So this is what it was last month before I picked it up, and this is what it is now. and I only stitched like 1,200 stitches here. I don't have it in my to finish right now list, so it's just gonna be picked up like whenever I feel like it. But considering I just finished the project on 36 count and this one is 18 count, I might not be willing to stitch it too much. Not because I'm like, I love the design, I love the colors, it's very nice, it's very bright, but actually I'm playing some cross stitch games with friends and they give really good bonuses for 18 count. So maybe after a week of taking rest from it, I will pick up it more. Because I want bonuses. I want bonuses for more colors, I want bonuses for the pattern, and I want bonuses for 18 count. So, plus, it's actually pretty nice. So, what I stitched was gray, green, and a touch of blue here. Green here, green here. So, not much, but oh. And the last project that I stitched this month is my apron. It's Riolis. I think it's Lily of the Valley. And this is the apron. I think with its color, it just looks amazing. And just look, because the apron has a very like small upper part, even this tiny design looks so big on it. Like it's only like maybe, I would say 40% finished. I'm not sure, but it's just amazing. I think there is still like almost 2,000 stitches left. Almost 2,000 stitches left. And this month I did 930 stitches here. So I added all the white ones and some of the green ones. Like I finished this end of the leaf and just this end of the leaf and just added here like lots of greens. Basically like whole this part is new. So yeah, I'm still doing it. It's kind of difficult to stitch because I was silly and I started stitching it without soluble canvas, and you can see that I have to do the cross stitch without actually counting fabric. So I'm doing cross stitch as I want. Like it looks kind of square for me. Okay. But it's not perfect, but it's okay. Next apron I will start with soluble canvas. I already bought a big chunk of soluble canvas just for aprons, so I will not be repeating these mistakes. But considering it's only like this much left and then backstitch, so yeah, I don't think I already finished this part. I can figure out this one. I can slave through this. Yes. So, did you write down all the numbers? So, now is trivia. How much did I stitch in total this month? And you can write the number in the comments. But now it's a joke. You don't need to. So, in total this month I stitched 20,650 stitches. Wow! Like generally I thought that every month I would do 10,000 stitches, and it's my first time in life. Like I counted how many stitches I did and it was 20,600, like almost 21,000. I'm like, wow, that's changed the game. I always thought myself was a like very slow stitcher, but now I'm like, I'm okay. I'm not too slow. Because usually like big projects, they take me months and months and months to finish. But I kind of like disperse my cross stitch on a smaller ones. So yeah, I never thought I'm actually doing this much. So it's amazing for me. Of course, I know girls who are doing 50 for a month, who are doing like 100,000 for a month. That's crazy for me. But nah, even if I would not go to work and stay all day home, I still won't be able to do 100,000 for a month. But I don't wanna. Like, I have a lot of other things to do except for stitching non-stop all day, right? Right? That I just finished Rabbit, so I finally have a free lunchtime stitching, and I am stitching every day at work about 200-250 stitches a day. So I offer you to vote and choose what I'm gonna stitch next. Next, what kind of forgotten whips do I need to pick up? Yeah, of course, I am stitching something like in the evenings or something magnets that I need for my market and everything. But if you have an idea or desire to see some of my older whips that maybe you haven't seen for a while, or you think are worth stitching again, like just some of the examples here of what I haven't finished. It's not accurately the number of percentage, but just as an example. If you think that something is worth stitching and you would like to see it in my next vlog, leave a message or mention whatever. You can mention the name, or you can even mention like, oh, I remember you had some dogs on a blue, or Disney dogs or something, like, for example. And then I will know that they are in demand and I will stitch them next. I don't promise to do the like from start to finish and finish them, but I will do a big chunk of progress on them, at least one solid design or 1,000 stitches on a bigger project. I think it's a good thing, since I have a lot of time at work to stitch. Why not? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So May agrees. That's her agree butt showing in the camera face. Yeah. One more handmade things I wanted to show you that I finished this month is my lemons. It's oil painting and it's amazing. I mean it, I'm loving it. This is an apartment of my husband. He bought it before we got married, so of course it's like man's apartments. It has a lot of dark brown, dark gray, and a lot of like metal embellishments. So I don't want to make some huge renovations, but that's why I'm putting in some colors, some pictures here and there, removing some of the metal things he has, like I am adding some life, some plants, because he didn't have anything. Like, you see what kind of decorations he had here or over there. This one was in the middle of the table before. Now at least we have some flowers in the middle of the table, even if it's Lego flowers. When we have real flowers, I put them away and put real flowers, but at least now we have something like colorful. But this is the kitchen zone, and like small kitchen here and kitchen over there too. So I think this is an amazing touch to make it more homey, more warm, more lovely. And I would say 85% of lemons are made by me. Of course, there is something that my teacher suggested or helped, or like first she showed me how to do these things, and then I could do these things by myself. Then I did all of them on my own, but she put some accent touches here just so they will be like more show off from the background. Like, she helped me to find the colors, or she suggested me like some where to use what technique, or like this color she herself mixed it, because it's not pure colors. Anything is not pure color. Everything is super mixed. So she mixed it for me, and like this one, because I was painting from the photo, and then that photo was converted into a watercolor painting. We did find the real photo at the end, but first I was starting to paint from the watercolor painting. That's why it is difficult to see where one leaf was finished and another leaf was started, and like what exactly was going on there, but I'm just loving it. I love all the little touches, I love all the little edges I did. Like, look, some little tiny brush strokes, or here some brown ones, or like here is the texture of the lemon, some dark green here, and at the same time here is lighter. I'm like, I love it, genuinely love it. And one more thing I wanted to talk is a little suggestion, but this suggestion is for women only, girls and women. If you are not a girl or woman, please look away for a couple minutes, because I would talk about some period medicine. I don't really think that it would be super pleasant for your husbands to hear, but whatever. So here in China, they suggested for me to drink brown sugar with ginger, and it really helps. Like, it's not painkiller, but if you take it for a long period of time, for example, during my period week, I take it 2 to 3 times a day. It's just like a, let me open it. Oh. It's just like a block of brown sugar mixed with ginger. You pour hot water on it, wait till it melted, and then you just drink it. It's very not tasty. Like, it's just sugar with ginger. It's a little, like, too sweet maybe. I don't know. But the thing is, like, if I take it during the whole week of my period, I don't have cramps. I don't have big belly aches. I'm not suffering. I don't wake up in the middle of the night anymore. And it didn't start like this from the first moment. So no, if you already started with the period and you have cramps, it's not a painkiller. But if you take it 1 month, then another month, by the 3rd month, you will realize that, oh, my period cramps are a little less, and then little less, and then by half year I noticed that I have never taken a painkiller since the moment I started taking them, because there were so many times when I would wake up in the middle of the night and I was like crying from pain. I was like crying from pain, and I would only survive on painkillers the whole day. But now I basically don't take anything for over a year now. So it's really helps. It could be granulated, it could be like in blocks here. I don't know, maybe you can order it from China, order it from like Amazon or something, or maybe you do have it in America, maybe some Asian market or something. Like, just try to search for it. If you are someone like me who suffers like this every month, brown sugar with ginger is really helping, and it's very like natural. They don't have any add-ons. Like, basically it is just brown sugar and ginger and nothing else. But I drink it like twice a day now, and I'm feeling myself so good. Oops, Erin is back from the gym. Okay, I need to go unpack and maybe prepare some dinner. I think it was a leg day because now Aaron will be walking the whole day like a penguin. Okay, let's see what he's got because I think we agreed to prepare the fish today, but I already see that probably he bought the wrong kind of fish. Anyway, thank you everyone who's been here with me this whole time. Thank you everyone for your likes, subscriptions, for hashtag mentions. I really appreciate everything, and see you next time. Bye.
用棚内即食。
走。这一块大。到中间的位置，哎，知道了，哎。还不能转了，明天早晨做个手续，明天早晨。